So here's something you can do anytime a deck of cards is available. Preferably a borrowed deck. It really can be any deck at any time. And if there are jokers in the deck, just remove them in advance or have the participant remove them and set them aside, okay? Most of this is going to take place in the participant's hands. This one, by the way, is called Hydra, okay? So you give the deck of cards to a participant and you instruct that person to shuffle them, mix them as much as they want. They can shuffle them as much as they want, in any way that they want. That makes no difference at all. When they're satisfied, the performer takes them back and ribbon spreads the cards on the table and just points out to the participant that this is the order that you yourself shuffle the deck into. And I'm not going to change this. So if you're not happy with this order in any particular way, you're free to shuffle again. So let's suppose in this particular case, they decide that they're happy with this order. You say, okay, I'm going to leave them the same, except for the fact that I'm going to take out three cards that we're going to call prediction cards. So this will be one, and let's see, this will be another, and I want you to watch me carefully, make sure I'm not changing anything else about the deck. I'm just taking out my three predictions. Okay, one more. Otherwise, this is going to remain in the exact same shuffled order that you agreed was satisfactory to you. Forgive me, I haven't performed this in a long time. So these are my three prediction cards, and I lay them out, and I say, I don't want you to know what these are yet, okay? The next part is you say to the participant, you're going to take the cards and I want you to deal them face down into three piles like this, all right? But you don't always have to deal them in the same order, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can mix it up. Like, for example, you could do 2, 3, 1 or 3, 1, 2. And as long as all the piles turn out to be approximately the same size, that's exactly what I want you to do. And I will also want you to stop somewhere on impulse, somewhere roughly within the first third of the deck or so, okay? So they start dealing out their cards, and you remind them that they can do so haphazardly, and that the three piles don't necessarily all have to be exactly the same size, but they can be roughly the same size, okay? And at some point they stop, and you can say, all right, at this point I would, and remember, this is in the participant's hands, right? The performer's not touching these. The performer is just sitting here with the three prediction cards. At this point, the participant has chosen to stop, and you can say, I'd like to take one of these three packets out of consideration, but it's up to you, and out of any further consideration, but it's up to you which one. So they designate one of the three packets, and it's a free choice. They can designate any of the three. So let's suppose that they designate this packet here, and you can say, all right, I want to mark that spot with one of my prediction cards, but you get to decide which one. So again, it's a free choice. Let's say they point to this card, and you can say, all right, so I'll just take, this is one of my prediction cards, the 8 of spades, and I'll just mark that spot. Now we know that this pile is removed from any further consideration. They still have some cards in their hands, so you instruct them to continue dealing haphazardly onto the two remaining piles, and to stop somewhere before they reach the end of the group of cards that they're holding on to, all right? So again, you say, I want to take one of these packets out of any further consideration. Which one is it going to be? And again, it's a free choice. They can choose either one. So they point to one of them, and you can say, I'll mark that spot with one of my prediction cards, but that too is up to you. So they designate one of your prediction cards, and you can say, okay, so this happens to be the 6 of spades, so I'll just leave it right there, all right? And the performer can place it right there. Anyway, the participant still has some cards in their hand. You can say, all right, so now I want you to just deal cards face down onto the one remaining packet, but not all the way through the remaining cards. Just make sure that you don't go all the way. And so they deal a few, and then they stop somewhere on impulse, and you can say, just by default, this is the last of the three prediction cards, and we'll just place it right on top of that, okay? So far, the participant has done everything, and you can say, all right, do me a favor and stack up the three piles. So this person is going to take the three piles of cards, or maybe what you can do is the performer, because they're still holding the talon. Okay, so they're still holding the talon. So you can square them up, and then have them stack them up. Okay, so they stack them up like that, and you can then ask them to drop the remaining cards on top. So you can recap the fairness of the procedure and just comment that there's no way that anybody could have known in advance how far down those three cards would end up, and the participant is going to agree with you. So you can hand them the deck and have them count cards or deal cards face down on the table, and stop dealing when the first face-up card appears. So as they do that, you count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay? So they remember the number 7, okay? Then you repeat the process again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 7 and 19. And they repeat the same thing for the last card. So 7, 19, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 7, 19, 18, okay? So is there any way that I could have known in advance that these cards were going to end up in those positions, right? Because these are just the random prediction cards that I took out at the very beginning of the routine. But there's no way that I could have known how you were going to deal the cards or how you were going to stop, right? And we're right here next to these 3 cards. And you might find this very surprising, you see, because that's a match. I don't know if you can see that on camera. You've got a pair of 2s, all right? And you say, that's a match. You got the pair of black 6s, and the final card is the obvious mate to that last one there, okay? So, again, it's been many years since I performed this, so I hope I hope you forgive me for not really having a structure or a script, but I think I'm going to try to resurrect this one as well. Again, this one is called Hydra, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.